You might be wondering, why do the buildings in Ukraine or in general in post-Soviet countries look pretty much like these behind me? They have a very typical look and they're instantly recognizable. Anywhere you go in the post-Soviet countries, or if you go to the movies or somewhere, anytime anybody says a Russian building or they talk about post-Soviet countries buildings, immediately you have a picture pretty much like this, right? So most of them do look like that, and it's not a stereotype, it is true, but there is a reason for that. And today we are going to explore and understand why do they look like this. It kind of goes in line with the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And people over here are so used to it, and they trust these structures, they love these designs, they're used to these designs, that even modern architecture uses or applies the previous designs and the previous ideologies to the new buildings. And trust me when I say this, that the modern ones are really modern. They have a lot of new technology, they are very well decorated, very sturdy and very good. And then you have the second type, they are called Khrushchevki. These buildings are a bit similar to the Panelki, as you can see, but these were made during the time when Khrushchev was the president, or he was ruling at that time. So you can see they're very similar, Panelkis and Khrushchevkis, except Panelkis are panels of concrete and Khrushchevkis are a small, let's say, evolvement of the Panelki. You can see this building right here was erected a couple of years back. It's a mix between Panelki and Khrushchevki plus modern elements. However, this building right behind me, let's focus. Yep. Looks like a Panelki, but however is not. It looks very similar to a Panelki. In fact, from the outside you might think it is a Panelki, but like I said, it's just the aesthetic. People love the aesthetic, they trust these aesthetics, and that's why they make the buildings in such a way. However, these structures behind me, these houses behind me, follow a completely different system. They are built differently, and they are something we call over here Chasni Dom. It's basically houses, residential houses, and they are very multifunctional. They can be used in different ways, as a house, as a hostel, as homemade stores and whatnot. But we will talk about these houses in a different video. These buildings are really popular and very common just because they are probably the most affordable and very easy to make too. Not to mention, these buildings were back in the time when, you know, getting an apartment was the biggest goal of life, and people who got them stayed with them. So now you know something really interesting about Ukraine and a little bit of understanding about the Soviet or the post-Soviet times.